How's it going, everyone? Liam Caddison here. We're on episode 24, season 3 for My Hero Academia, which is called a season for encounters. So, it's going to be interesting to delve into these next 2 episodes, I believe we have, because, yeah, it seems like we have 2 episodes remaining, because we've wrapped up pretty much everything in terms of arcs, and now we have like 2 solo episodes, which I do expect to build towards season 4. But yeah, it was really great last time out. I had a bit of a rewatch of that episode 23 because, like I said, I think it's one of the greatest episodes for My Hero Academia. It was really great at how they started this new relationship with Bakugo and Deku, and how we explored the emotional turmoil that Bakugo was facing after Kamino, him facing that level of responsibility. So it will be very. I mean, I'll be having an extra an extra eye over the Bakugo and Deku relationship, but I don't think anything noteworthy is going to crop up. They will probably still acknowledge each other, but yeah, I don't think anything will crop up in terms of seeing new seeds of that, because they're still gonna probably be at each other's throats at times, but they've got a new layer of respectability. They need to keep pushing each other's strengths in order to become the heroes they aspire to be. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what this episode has on offer, because the Pro Hero license exams have finished. Although I do think we might, I don't know if we will see bits and pieces of Todoroki, Bakugo, and I guess Urashi as they try to get their provisionals, because we know that they failed initially. And we want Bakugo and Todoroki, especially from Class 1A, to not miss out on anything. So, yeah. And I am really looking forward to Season 4, because I think that's going to be, like, that's probably where we're going to see the first big steps for those who got their provisionals, because now they get to step in and not face risking that lecture. So, yeah, it will be very fun stuff to see. But yeah, why don't we just delve right into this episode of My Hero Academia? I'm looking forward to checking this out. Full reaction will be, of course, on Patreon. I do know, I don't know if she meant the last episode or whatnot, but I do recall my friend Kelly, who, as I've mentioned a few times, is a My Hero Academia a fan and a close friend to me. But I think I do recall her saying that she was excited about this episode, because I do keep her up to date about, oh, I've just watched this and just watched that, because I trust her. She's not going to spoil anything for me. And I do know she said that I will enjoy 24 as well. So I'm really excited to see what this episode does have, if she's saying that. But yeah, with that said, let's just check out this reaction. Like I said, full reaction will be up on Patreon right now. So with that said, let's go.
Mr. Miyagi, I approve of you.
Gross. I don't.
The matter is that All Might simply got too big. He was such an all-encompassing symbol that his existence was an impossibility.
The biggest change for regular folks is the new #1. Endeavor. Not quite the same as All Might, so the public is
he's far
their
different.
fear on totally unsuited for.
Kids?
Poor bastard. Now
so
he's
we're trying to search up for
Todoroki. Heroes.
Although Endeavor has resolved a number of large cases, stop reporting negatively about pro heroes and actively raise excitement for them.
Exactly.
Instead of focusing on the problems we're facing, we should see how
yeah, let's not focus on the negatives. People do that a lot these days.
The man knows what he's talking about. Physical power isn't the only thing that weakens. The heart does as well.
Nah, it's all about power.
Shut up! Leave me alone!
What is with this guy?
Here. Yo, hurry up!
It's not like the good old days, is it?
He brought the whole counter. Too bad for you, hero. He's not some two-bit robber.
Yeah, the thing is, there are these heroes, but they're not the reservoir dogs. No, I won't, because I'm sure that's copyright infringement.
Everyone else is doing it too. Tell if I'm doing good or not.
I see. That is a tough break.
You didn't answer my
Wait.
question. Are you okay? Tell me.
Yeah, sure I am. I've been
Is
so
that
busy
twice?
I'm crying with delight. Ones are the darlings of the hour.
Well, that's nice to hear. No, it's not.
It is!
Oh, damn it!
Oh
So,
shit, it must be twice.
I'm a busy man, you know. I've got nothing to do.
I couldn't get a hold of Dobby.
Yeah,
Any
it
idea
is.
where he is? Shigaraki wants everyone to have a quick.
Bind myself together. I'm gonna tear apart.
Oh, I'm feeling a bit for twice here.
Once I'm wrapped up, I'm whole.
Is that like a suppression?
The quirk is called Twice. It's a simple power that turns one thing into two. I can make a clone of myself, and
Yes,
then make
you
clones
can.
from that clone.
Oh.
An entire gang of just me. I made my clones
An
do
army.
everything. I was a king ruling over them. But the
You were
other
a
me's
king of
weren't
yourself.
satisfied with that, and they put together a little coup. In the end, they killed each other and disappeared.
Holy
All
crap.
gone. Never. But the League accepted me as I am, problems and all. And I'd like to think I'm okay with who I am too. Now I'm scouting people, trying to find
There's
the
this
ones
tragic
with the same
sense
kind
with
of
twice.
craze. We're all wackos looking for a place we belong.
A bunch of capable adults got a gang. They should have shot for a loftier goal. You guys aren't well. What you need is a cure.
We
Okay,
got the
yeah,
money.
he
We should
could-
skedaddle before any heroes get
He
here.
can be League of Villains
Overall.
material, so can
They're
that
all
sinister
sick.
guy.
Every last one of them.
But the biggest wackos have stopped searching for a place. What's important is knowing who you truly are, what you want to become, what you want to do. Yes, that's very important. So,
Your
what
goals.
should I do?
You need to have a sense of where you fit in the world. Holy crap, that kind of feels so bad for twice.
I want to see order!
You're the only one who's not in line.
The dilemma of a class rep.
I am noticing that. Like,
about Class 1A.
oh, for God's sake.
You had 2 people fail the licensing exam, you losers!
Phone him up from class.
Be fun. I'm looking forward to
On
it.
cannon.
Can't wait to test out my skills.
Oh, hey, isn't she the exchange student?
Touch me,
Oh.
I'll pummel you till your mama doesn't know ya.
Okay.
So,
Oh, right, the guy who fought Midoriya at the sports festival.
Yeah, I've
Sure that's
missed
the same
him.
guy? Looks like he's bulked up a bit since then.
Been trying to step up like he was advised to.
It's the
Was,
adorable
yeah.
small mammal you all know and love, the principal. You may notice the fur I'm so proud of has deteriorated in quality. I haven't been taking care of it. This is something that can happen
How many
to
people
humans
gave a
too,
crap there?
even if you eat working hard to remove this weight from your shoulders. I'd like all of you to learn from their diligence and remember that hard work will help you develop into capable heroes. Whether hero course, support, business, or general studies. I don't want any of you to forget that you're the ones who will inherit our society.
Your next generation.
Thank you, Principal Nezu.
If you're
Good
looking for a
speech.
successor, one worthy of your power walks the halls of our fine school.
Now
Him?
we'll hear from the extracurricular guidance teacher. Please give Mr. Hound Dog your attention. Yesterday.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Right? That had me pretty confused too.
I also have concerns.
He said there's something the upperclassmen participate in, correct?
I was planning to talk more about those at a later date, but
Well,
I
Nezu
guess
had to
telling
open
you
his
now
mouth.
is more logical.
And
To
curiosity
put it
piques the
simply,
mind.
It's work outside of class, like the internships you did at pro hero agencies before, only closer to the real thing.
Yeah.
Damn time! Been an age since I stood on this stage. You miss me? We've got a lot to cover
It's
today.
how
Let's
it's done.
get rolling with it. You dig?
Oh my god.
Excuse me, but what is with this dust, Bakugo?
Deku was supposed to do that! Shut up! Hey, can't you even clean something right,
Oh,
you idiot?
God.
Sorry!
Here we go again.
In just one day, I've been completely left behind. That's what you're thinking, right, house arrest?
Yeah.
Don't call me that. It's mean. Ida, what's a work study? Something I can't tell you about. The teachers have forbidden us from giving you any details about our classes.
Someone's gonna blurt it out.
You'll just have to experience the same shock and surprise we went through. You catch that, Bakugo? Shut your mouth! I heard you, Four Eyes!
Oh, hey! Insulted!
What? There's hero basic training tomorrow. Everyone's gonna be learning new stuff while I'm stuck hanging out in my room.
Now you know how Bakugo felt when you were on your internship.
I can't slow down now.
What?
Trash, am I right? What are you doing?
What was that?
What is your deal?
First year, aren't you? I bet that was a freaky surprise for you. Kinda sorry about that. Gotta admit, I did pop up here because I thought you'd be shocked, though.
What in the world are you?
Not a bad question there, my friend. I admit, sometimes
He
I even
seems
weird
cheerful.
myself out.
I love it.
You know, once in a blue moon.
But he's
But
also
don't worry,
freaky.
You're gonna find out who I am soon.
With everything I fell behind on these past 3 days!
That's the fighting spirit.
That determination from Deku. Nice.
Time to take your seats, everyone.
And now it's shattered.
Now that Midoriya is back, we'll go into more detail about what the work studies entail. Go ahead and
Oh
come
no,
in.
Bakugo then. Okay.
I'll
Like,
have
forget about
people who've
Bakugo.
experienced them firsthand explain. The Big Three.
Big Three. And it's him.
Yeah, that guy. Did All Might have a secret child? He's got the same hair and... Yeah, that's the same guy that went all creepy in the walls. And the floor. So that was a really awesome episode of My Hero Academia. We've gotten someone who is basically All Might Junior, I guess. As part as the Big Three, and it sucks for the other two because they're not getting as much focus, it seems, in the viewer's perspective. But that guy who is big, I'm gonna call him All Might Junior until we, because he does look like All Might with the hairdo and the build and that. But yeah, he encountered Deku earlier in the episode when he was taking up the trash, and he was like, "Oh, I want to see what all the hubbub was about with the person called Izuku Midoriya." He seems like a really decent chap, though, which is really good stuff to hear because we need more decent people. Well, not to say that UA is full with arseholes, but it's got a few. Monoma, yeah, not Momo. Momo's awesome. Monoma, as we got to see back in this episode, who was like, "Oh, we all passed, ha ha ha. You two lost. Well, 2 people in your class lost and all of that." So yeah, no, but he seems like a decent dude, and I'm really intrigued to find. It seems like he can phase through walls. It seems because objects completely because his face was it emerged through the wall. So he can ghost through objects, it seems, which is, that's, I'm assuming, his quirk. He's able to pass through solid objects, because it wasn't just the wall, it was the floor as well. So, yeah, I'm surprised he didn't just, just phase through, like, you didn't need to open the door for him, you could just phase through it. So that's what I'm assuming his quirk is. He could just basically phase through stuff. If we're gonna, he's basically gonna ghost through stuff. Yeah, it was really good though. We saw normality sink in. The students are focusing on their work studies, which was which I assume is going to be the next step up for the for these students and all of that. And evolution, I guess, as they called it from the internships, which bodes well now, with the students getting their Pro Hero licenses, and they did talk about how the impact of those who I think didn't get who weren't scouted from the sports festival. I'm mixing words up today. they're going to be on the receiving end and all of that. So yeah, I really enjoyed that talk, as well as Nezu's speech, which I did really love how he started it off, like, and all of that. Gotta say, Hound Dog, I think it was was absolutely hilarious. Like, so I guess he can speak English, but when he gets super pissed, he talks like a dog, basically. It's like when you muddle your words up so much, like, yeah. But in this case, he basically sounds like a dog. So yeah. Yeah, he was just bizarre. Like, I just loved his bit, though. It was so hilarious. Like, two students, and yeah, everyone was completely shocked. I absolutely loved his appearance. But yeah, I want to deviate from that because I want to talk about one character in particular. And yeah, my friend did say I would love this because it featured a character who earlier this season I was super invested by, and I absolutely loved his character. A character called Twice. We got to see a bit of backstory in him, and how he was just analyzing the current society and all of that, and how he was not really fond of that. And it seems like we got extension onto why he's not really fond of normal human society. It's because it seems like, from what he was saying, the voice in his head, with the fact that he kept cloning himself and cloning himself, it ended up deviating into a split personality. Which I gotta say, the blood on his head that sent it, which is a nice, like, I guess, symbolism or something like that, like, because it went all the way down, so it splits to two sides. So yeah, but it ends up creating a split personality, and he feels like whole, like, because he seems to be struggling with the voice in his head, with the opposite end in his head. And when he pulled the mask down, he said he was whole again. So it's like a nice way to keep things as whole and all of that. So yeah, but not just that though. You felt a real tragic vibe with his story, because he even said that I was not accepted and the league accepted me for who I am, which really does suck, because it's not like this guy was like, well, he's got a really tragic backstory. It's not like this guy has some like, his backstory did turn out to be skewed in terms of, like, how his clone situation, where he was like king of his own dominion with the clones, it turned out skewed because there was a bit of complication, and there's this presence of, I'm not sure if I am the real me anyways. I assume he is, and it's that rejection from society, like he's discovered with a split personality, and the league has accepted him. The one time I will actually compliment the league, because they knew about his split personality, his mental disability, and they just accepted him, whereas normal society seems to shun him because of something he doesn't really want, because he argued with himself, and the mask keeps him like at ease, because like I said, you saw him put the mask on, and he even said he felt whole. He was struggling beforehand when he was talking to Giran, I think it was his name, because we saw him in the season 2, didn't we, Giran? So yeah, he was speaking to him, and they were out recruiting for the league. So yeah, I really enjoyed, and I feel so bad for Twice, because I know how it feels to not be accepted for something that is considered a mental disability. I've been in that shoes, in his shoes a few times, not with the split personality situation, but with the feeling that I don't feel accepted, and there is of course the evil group did take him in and accept him, but it still really it still makes him feel at ease that he has been accepted somewhere, because people can be very judgmental, and they will, like, for example, a normal workplace would have picked up on, like, potentially picked up on Twice's personality, and they might not have accepted him for a job, because there is that heavy judgment. Like, I have been judged severely because of my autism. I actually remember one time where I felt like I was completely betrayed, because I went to college, I had to say that I was autistic, and usually this thing would be kept under a discreet manner. It was for my IT class, but my tutor completely blurted it out, which creates this paranoia against those who, I mean, my class back then were a bit had a bit of that obnoxiousness, I guess, but yeah, it created that feeling of shunning me away because of who I was. My ex-girlfriend at the time said that, I mean, yeah, she could have been lying and all of that, but it made sense because I was close to a few people, and then they started to distance themselves around the same time. So, yeah, it absolutely does suck, and you do feel so much for Twice as he goes to explain how yes, yeah, it might there might be that sense of God complex that he created. It's always that case though, isn't it? Like, if you create, like, if you had a duplicate of yourself, there's always that talk, isn't there, where, like, oh, I can chill and my clothes can do all the work. That's literally the case, and then and then there's Armageddon that follows afterwards, because they couldn't take his shtick anymore. So, it is just really sad though, to go on this story about there's no place for a person like me in this world, and that sometimes literally is the case. Like, this world is pretty, like, it is pretty judgmental. I mean, it's not totally realistic, the world of My Hero Academia, because it's not like the real world is 80% quirks and all of that, but some of the socialism, like some of the I forgot the word, but society acts often like they do in the real world, and that is a fitting example. I know from experience, and I know a few others who know from experience, that sometimes your mental disability and whatnot, that can make people judge you, and it does really suck so much. So Twice's backstory was very interesting, because it had him narrating whilst we were in this void of All Might's absence, this eternal void, until I guess another comes along, until someone who is on a similar level to All Might comes along. He was narrating, and it goes to show that whilst he's recruiting, he's also he's not like a full-fledged villain and all of that, I guess. I mean, he is part of the League of Villains, so he can be considered villainous, but they took him in, whereas he just seems to exhibit that human emotion, whereas his co-workers like Darby and co, yeah, they are who they are, I guess, at the end of the day, like showing their villainous and dangerous sides and all of that, because we saw Darby take on recruits who weren't really particularly playing ball. So yeah, but I also really loved how not just society cannot like they have to, there was that judgment with Endeavor and all of that, and we had the news talking about maybe we shouldn't really look into the negatives of the hero society, and we should start thinking more positively. But also we got to see the ramifications of All Might's retirement, because we got to see some small-time criminals rob a store, and then a hero tries to step up, but he got jumped because he's not at that great level. These villains are like leagues above him. So we got to see the ramifications of All Might's retirement really play favorably for the appetites of the villains. So yeah, I really did enjoy this episode so much, especially with Twice's backstory. And All Might Jr. as well, getting to see him. We will get a name, and by the time this video comes out, I will have learned. Probably, will I have learned about it? Yeah, I will have. I'm assuming next episode they're going to introduce themselves, because we were left on that cliffhanger like, oh, we're the big three. So they will introduce themselves, their quirks, and all of that. So, yeah. I did really love... I did really love this episode so much, and not just going into certain villains' backstories and how sympathetic it can be, but also the society that we live in now, and seeing how fractured that is, and how people are looking at Endeavor, because we had that Google search as well. It seems like they are looking at into Todoroki. Would it be public knowledge? I'm sure it would be. I think it is public knowledge that Todoroki is Endeavor's kid. But yeah, it is. But we got to see like that Google search of Endeavor and all of that, and we got to see how you know he is revered for his hero work, but he's kind of a dickbag in terms of sociability. Like we saw with Yorashi, didn't get the welcoming reception, and that voice of concern is spread throughout society, it seems. So yeah, never meet your heroes, isn't it? But yeah, it was really great stuff to see, like that backstory from Twice, like I said, because it was very heartbreaking the further we got along. And we got to see how what happened basically when he went out of control and all of that. Well, when his clones went out of control, and yeah, it was really good stuff to see. So I really did enjoy that episode so much, because it got we got into some really great explanations to not just that, but to other areas as well. Like the work studies, like introducing All Might, creepy All Might. Yeah, I'm gonna call him creepy All Might, because, you know, if you're just picking a head out into a wall like, hi, it's gonna freak someone out, especially someone on the caliber of Deku who can get easily startled. So yeah, I'm just saying. But it was a really fun episode. I absolutely did enjoy that so much, and yeah, like I said, I feel so bad for Twice, if anything. Like, sure, being a villain, not good whatsoever, but learning about how he feels he doesn't click in, and how the League has taken him in. It was his home. It was somewhere that people can accept him, and for that you can't really blame him, because people with that mental disability, people with mental disabilities, they just want to be accepted, and there's a lot of cases in the world where people just don't are just afraid to connect with someone with a mental disability. And from experience, it's very heartbreaking, because for me personally, people are afraid of different, of something different. And it is like, at the end of the day, you're still human, and sometimes like it shows with Twice, it does deviate into a more devastating path where he joins the villain's side because they accepted him. So it's really powerful to see how affected Twice was with society and their judgments and all of that. So yeah, very, very deep story. And that's why I was like, I feel so bad for him. Which I don't think you do for a My Hero Academia villain. Trying to think. No, I don't. I mean, you did feel a bit for Shigaraki because he was basically groomed by All for One. But I don't think it's gone this level of deep. No, I don't think so. So, yeah, it was really, really powerful stuff. But yeah, that was My Hero Academia episode number 24. We've got one more episode left of My Hero Academia before I'm caught up before October. So I'm really excited to be checking out the big three. And hopefully a bit more focus on the other two. Because like I said, it's very, very distracting that you have a guy who has a bit of history already with the show, it seems. Because he had that interaction with Deku. And I think he had interaction in the crowd and all of that. Like, I think All Might was talking about... we had that flashback to All Might talking about a successor, and then it focused on him. So I'm wondering if he... Well, I wouldn't be surprised because, hey, you know what? You look like me. Oh, crap. Better do a DNA test. But, no, I'm really excited to see what the next episode has on offer. So, yeah, but we have to learn that looks aren't everything. I mean, look at Muscular. I thought he was... Wait, is that Bakugo's dad? No. So he's not going to be Deku. He's not Deku's love child. Oh, no, that's timey-wimey. He's not going to be All Might's love child, but he does look so similar. Let's be real. Yeah, that was My Hero Academia. Great stuff. So I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!